Alright, good afternoon everyone. Today is Monday, April 16th, 2012. It's Michael from CFRN, Michael and Dwayne from CFRN. We're going to go over the trades that set up in the live trading room this morning, the markets we actually traded, and the results from our trades this morning. Okay. We were down this morning in all but one market. We have ES, we were down 7 ticks, right? We're down one trade. Oh, no, in the Russell, in the YM we were down 2 trades. We're down 14 ticks in the Russell, in the YM, sorry. Soybeans, we got back to even on. The Russell, we were down 1 trade, 9 ticks. And gold, we are up 9 ticks. Okay, those were the markets we traded this morning, I think. Is that all? The ES, the soybeans, the Russell, the YM, and gold. I believe that's everything we traded this morning. Now let's just go through the actual setups. As Dwayne was saying earlier, there's divergence between the S&P 500 and the Dow today. One's up, one's down, and they're not really going in the same direction just yet. And what that usually equates to on the shorter time frame is no follow-through on any trades. It makes it a little more difficult to trade. Not impossible. As you see, we're only down 1 trade pretty much in each one of those, and we've missed opportunities. We've missed a bunch of opportunities actually this morning where we could have been up on those. But let's just go through them. Okay, we'll start off right here with the 4-tick range on the Russell. We shorted right here. Now, when we shorted the Russell, this isn't the Russell. Sorry, this is the ES. 4-tick range on the ES. We had some bearish divergence right here, all right, on the slingshot. Price came up and tested the BBC right here and had a down close in the direction of the bearish divergence. We shorted right there, okay, and we let it go for a little while. We actually shorted this first down close right here. We let it go for a little while, and then as we were in that trade and it was working itself out, we had some profit in the trade, but as it started to work itself out, we started to put in bullish divergence in the other markets, in the Russell and in the YM. So we moved our stop up to break even, and we got out of that trade at break even. You can see that the ES turned out to be the stronger force, Robert. The ES turned out to be the stronger force in this case, and it did drop down in the direction that we had traded it. All right. We had another opportunity over here that we missed. Okay, the opportunity was right here. At 10:30, we had bullish divergence. Price came down, tested the BBC, and had an up close right there. Right there. You can see that worked out just fine. There was another one right over here. Same thing. Price pulled back, tested the BBC, and had an up close right in there. All right, everything flipped around. And I told you we missed a bunch of trades this morning. Price pulled back, tested the BBC, and had a down close. So right in there was the opportunity on that one. That one didn't go to the 2-point profit target, but it did go about 1.5 points, in which case we would have had our stop at break even. Okay, that was the 4-tick range Russell this morning. Not Russell, the 4-tick range ES. I'm sorry. Let me flip over here to the 10,000 contract, because on the 10,000 contract we had some opportunity as well. Earlier on this was right about a news event right here. Okay, we had bearish divergence. Price didn't pull all the way back up here to the BBC, so we didn't get an entry there. We had bearish divergence again here. Price did pull back up, and we had a down close. We did enter here. Price had dropped down here and given us some profit. I think I had put another trade on somewhere else at the time, and that's why I didn't move my stop to break even, because typically I would have moved my stop to break even there. You can see it came back out. It came back and it stopped me out here for -7 ticks right there. Okay. But we did have an opportunity to take some profit or lock in at least a break even on that. You can right here the cycle was going against us. That was if there was ever a signal for me to get out of the trade or at least move to break even, that was it right there. But I think I was trading the YM at the time, or trading some other market at the time. As it happened, we got bullish divergence there. We had a bullish cross of the MA1 over the BBC, and price pulled back down right here. Okay, for an opportunity and a test of the BBC, you could have entered there, or if you wanted to be more conservative and wait for this over here, there was an opportunity here as well. You had the good bullish divergence right here on this indicator. Now what I mean when I say bullish divergence is the cycle is up here in one place, the cycle is the red and blue line, is in one spot, and the green line and the other lines for that matter are headed away from it. Alright, that is divergence. Okay, with the up close right here, you had an opportunity to take a couple points. Right here, same thing on the downside. Alright, and right now we really don't have anything. And that was the ES this morning. Okay, now I've been so eager to show you the Russell, I will show it to you right now. Let's see, there were a lot of divergences this morning in the Russell, but I wasn't able to get into the actual trades. I was too slow on it. Right here this morning, we had, I'm going to stick to the one trade setup, alright, where we test the BBC and we get the down close. Okay, you see we had all these divergences in here when price closed down below the MA1. Going by what I had said in the partners meeting last week, that was something you could have done aggressively. As it were, there was opportunity here. We had the bearish divergence right here. We tested the BBC. We had a down close. Right there was the spot to enter. There was another one right here. Right there was the spot to enter. I did not make both of those trades. I was a little late on them. Right here on the long side, price, the MA1 moved above the BBC, suggesting we should start looking for long trades. We had the bullish divergence right there. Price tested the BBC with an up close right there. That would have given 10 ticks. Over here again on the short side, right here, it tested the BBC with the bearish divergence, the down close, and it moved down to the weekly trading zone. All right. It looks like we did actually take that trade, and we ended up getting a break even on it. Let's see. Over here, we had some bullish divergence. The price was on the wrong side of the BBC. It was too far on the wrong side of the BBC. The MA1 had crossed down, so we weren't doing any bullish trades in there. Right here, we had bullish divergence. We had bullish divergence here, but we didn't have a test of the BBC. Here we had the test of the BBC with the up close. You can see that one worked out well. Up to there would have been enough to take 10 ticks out of it, and then it pulled back and did it again right here with an up close right there. Okay. I took this short trade right here. We had the bearish divergence right here. The pullback to the BBC with the down close. I took that one. That was the one Russell trade that I lost right there. Minus 9 ticks. And I have not had any other trading opportunities since then. There is a short opportunity coming up right here. Okay. Right here. 793.2. That's what we want to see it test, and then we want to see it down close. Alright, I'll put the trade on in here. If it comes together, I'll put the trade on. Okay. I'll sort of keep an eye on that, but I'm going to flip over here to the YM right now because that's all we had on the Russell. Okay. Now, on the YM, there were a bunch of opportunities to trade, and I think I took 3 trades, maybe 4. Alright, my first trade was right here. We had bearish divergence. Right here, we had bearish divergence. The price pulled back up to the BBC, gave us a down close. I shorted it here for 5 points. Okay, it went down a little further. I was telling everyone in the room that I thought it was going to get down to the weekly trading zone here. I just got aggressive with my stop. This trade over here is not likely to happen right now on the Russell. But I shorted that and I took some profit on it. Okay. There was another opportunity to do it right in here on this down close with the divergence again, which I missed. Right here. Alright. Right in there. Tested the BBC with the down close. Hang on. I'm going to keep that over there because I may take that trade, depending on what happens with it. Alright. That was an opportunity to short the YM over there. That would have put us positive on the morning. The first trade had already put us positive, so we were already positive. This next one was too close to the weekly trading zone, but you see we had the bearish divergence right here, the test of the BBC with the down close. Do you guys see that I'm doing the same exact thing over and over and over again on different markets? I'm using the same indicators and doing the same thing over and over and over again. That's the beauty of this setup in the slingshot. if you were trading just one market, and you weren't trying to conduct a training room while you were trading, you should have definitely been positive this morning. Okay. I'm sure that most of our partners probably were the ones that just sit and trade one market. Robert, were you positive this morning? Keith, were you positive? Just a couple of them that have commented in here so far. Anyway, as price moved down, you can see that one worked out well. And as price moved down, we had some bearish divergence in here, but the cycle started moving up. We had bullish divergence right in here. I went long on the up close. Where did I go long? On this up close right here. No, where did I go long? I didn't go long in there because we had a weekly trading zone right up above us. Alright, so I did not go long there. There was bearish divergence over here, but it didn't actually test the BBC. Robert said yes, for sure. He was positive this morning. Over here, we didn't actually test the BBC, so I'm not going to show you the aggressive trades that you could have taken in there. Over here, this is the long trade that I took on the YM right here. Alright, I went long on the up close right here. It gave me a few ticks right up into the MA1. The MA1 held it and shoved it back down against me. I ended up minus 2 ticks at that point. Okay, there was a nice trade right here that was a long trade that I did not get into. You see we have the bullish divergence. It tested the BBC, gave the up close, and moved up. Let's see. Over here we're inside the weekly trading zone, so we weren't doing anything. You can see how there was no follow-through on these trades. Right here I went long right in here, and I went long right there, and it chopped back and forth for a little while. After it closed above on this bar right here, where it closed above the MA1, and then the next bar where it closed back down below, that was a pretty good indication that this trade wasn't going to work out. It did it again right here before it finally stopped me out. Well, it stopped me out over here, but it did it again after it stopped me out. So I lost, I don't know, seven ticks, something like that, 5 or 7 ticks on that trade. And I had another one right here on the long side. I kept trying to go long here on it. It was giving me the bullish divergence. Everything was looking good. And every time it would only give 4 ticks in the positive direction. That's what put us down 14 ticks on the YM. Okay. There were plenty of opportunities in there to make money if you were doing just one thing at a time. All right, shorten right down here into the I'm not into the BBC, but into the weekly trading zone. Little opportunities here if you were taking 5 or 6 ticks at a time. Pretty much all these trades made the 5 or 6 ticks. Okay. And that was the YM. Now, the gold, I didn't do much with the gold in the early session because it was really jumpy early on. Let me find my gold chart so I can go over it with you. Here it is. It was really jumpy early on. Okay. And I didn't bring it out and show the gold trades all that often. Let's see. I'll go over the trades that happened with you. Let's start at 9:30 here. All right, I'm going to wait until we get out of all this chop here because when that was happening is when I was saying it's really jumpy and I don't want to do anything. All right, this is one trade that I think I took in front of you. I shorted in here and took profit on that, okay? Then we tested the BBC. You can see we tested the BBC with the bearish divergence down here, the same exact trade setup. We had the down close there and price moved down. Over here we had bullish divergence right there, tested the BBC with the up close right there, alright, and price moved up. Over here we had the bullish divergence, but the cycle was down below, so we needed to wait until we got bearish divergence. Over here we got bearish divergence, but the cycle was going back up above. Right here is the spot, okay, right there. We had bullish divergence and it took off from there. All right. We had bearish divergence in here, and there's a way to get into these trades, but I don't want to discuss that right now. Over here we had a little bit of bearish divergence and the down close right here. Okay, after the test of the BBC, the down close was right there. That would have given you enough to move your stop to break even, or possibly get out of the trade. Alright, let's see, over here, this is a trade that I stopped out on. I was the wrong side of it. Define it. Okay, I will, Joe. Just give me a sec. Over here, this is a trade that I stopped out on. I entered short here after the price tested the BBC. Price tested the BBC right here, and price dropped down to the MA1 right here, okay, with the bearish divergence. When I say it was below it, I think what I'm talking about is we have a bearish cross of the MA1 below the BBC and a bullish cross of the MA1 above the BBC. Okay, I think that's what I was talking about when I said it. It could have been price that I was talking about as well, but I'll be more descriptive. All right, sorry about that. But right here, we had the down close. Price went down to the MA1. The MA1 held the price and pushed the price back up. I'm trying not to use the word it. All right. So over here we had a bullish cross of the MA1 over the BBC. Okay. And we had an up close down here on the slingshot, pushing the price up. All right. We did it again right here. Same bullish cross, pull back to the BBC, up close, pushing the price up. All right. Same thing here. We had tested the BBC with the bullish divergence and the up close. All right. It drew down a little bit on that one, but let's see, 47.6 down to 47, so it drew down 6 ticks. I usually use an 8 tick stop, so that would have still worked out. But I probably would have gotten a break even on it after it went up here. I don't know. Maybe not just 4 ticks. Let's see. We're starting to lose a divergence in here, so I don't think that we would have taken this trade right here. All right. There still is a little bit of divergence, but the red cycle is headed down. And we actually just had a pretty good run, so I probably would not have taken that right there. All right. On the downside, right here we have bearish divergence. All right. And the price pulled back up to test the BBC with the down close right there. All right. Again, it didn't immediately go in favor of the trade. It drew down 5 ticks before it went in favor of the trade. All right. There were a bunch of little opportunities right here on the long side. 1, 2, 3. Before it finally pulled back right here, and it would have stopped out right in there if you hadn't taken break even on all those little ones. All right. There was some divergence right here, but the divergence went away. That's why we didn't follow up on that one. Right here we had some bearish divergence, and this would have stopped you out. Probably. If you didn't take profit down here, the spot to short would have been right here. When the MA1 crossed below the BBC, suggesting you start looking for shorts. Then you got your bearish divergence, price pulled back up, tested the BBC, and you got your down close right here at 51.3. Let's say you entered in at 51.2, 51.2 or 51.1. Price dropped down to 55. So 6 ticks profit in the trade. You probably should have had your stop at break even at that point. I would have. And then it all turned around. Okay, we had bullish divergence here. This is 11.16 bullish divergence here. And price moved up on the up close. Let's see. I'm just looking for more opportunities in here. There was one right here. This one right here might have stopped you out. Let's see. If you got long on the up close here at, we'll say 51.4, and it pulled all the way back down to 50.7. That's 7 ticks. I use an 8 tick stop, so that may or may not have stopped me out, depending if it actually ticked on the 8th tick, but if not, it worked out. Okay. Does everybody understand this? We're looking for the divergence on the slingshot. The divergence, let me just simplify this a little bit for you. Let me take that off. and that off. Okay, so you can see the divergence just a little easier. The green line diverging from the cycle line. Okay, when I say diverging, I mean it's moving away from it. All right, if you have all this space in here and it starts moving toward it, and that's when you get your trade entry, that's fine. But that's pretty much what I'm talking about. All right. Now right in here, you had an opportunity right here. You had some bearish divergence, but you didn't get an up close. I'm sorry, bullish divergence, but you didn't get an up close until over here. So you weren't going to take that. Right in here, you have some bearish divergence, but you didn't get your down close until over here. And this was actually during the break, so we didn't do anything in there. And this is all what's going on right now. Right now, we have bearish divergence right here. All right. And a pullback up here to the BBC with a down close would be an opportunity to get short. All right, just like this one right over here was. And we didn't really have a ton of divergence on this one. But this one right here, we had some. All right. To use a ratio like 3 to 1 of the like, I use an 8 by 10 on the gold, Brad. An 8 by 10. Well, I like to get 10 anyway. Sometimes I won't even put a target on, depending on what the market is like. You can put a trade on with an 8-tick stop and just an open target, and just trail your stop. All right, but usually I'll have a bracket on, like an 8 by 10 bracket. Okay. You can see right here it's just starting to pull up there to the BBC, and if it tests it and gives us a down close, we may just enter into that trade. All right, there's the test of it right now, and now all we need is the down close. All right. Let's see, where had I left off on this? Right over here. What time is it? Wow, I didn't realize it was so late. Sorry about that, David. All right, what other markets did we trade? Soybeans. We ended up even on the beans. Let's see, I gotta find my bean chart. Give me just a moment. Soybeans, here they are. All right, on the beans. I didn't do a lot of trading on beans this morning. I was late on the first move, this 5-cent move up. I was late on that. I took a long trade right here, I believe. Right in here, I took a long trade. And I stopped out on that. Then I took a short trade in here, and I got it back. All right. That was pretty much my bean trading for the day. Did we have more trades? Oh, right here, we had a test of the BBC with a down close with the bearish divergence right there. All right. It pulled back quite a bit, 24 up to, well, it pulled back 19 and a quarter. 19 and a quarter up to 21. It pulled back 7 ticks. All right. It's actually giving bearish divergence right here. It needs to test the BBC and move down. All right. That's what we need to see. Over here, I use the same thing, Brad, an 8 by 10. On gold, on the Russell, and on the soybeans, I use an 8 by 10 bracket. On the YM, I use a 7 by 20. On the ES, I use a 2 by 2. And that covers most of it, I think. All right. Guys, that's it. If you have any more questions, just type them in, or you can email me directly at support@cfrn.net. That's support@cfrn.net. And I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Okay? I'm going to stop the recording here.